in line. Let's stand tall and let's just take a long breath in through the nose there. And bring those arms down. Just the left arm. And bring it down. And the right arm. Good, and then both arms, and stretch and open out the chest. And just bring the chin to the chest and circle the head around. And in the opposite direction. Looking centre, just look left and then centre there. And to the right. Pushing your ear all the way over that shoulder. Now I just want you to shrug your shoulders up and drop. So feel the shoulder blades pressing down through the centre of the back, and then just start rounding the back with that motion there. So pulling those shoulders apart. Take a deep breath in and just hold it up there. And then just stretching through the waist. Keep going, reaching for the ceiling or for the sky if you're outside. And just bring those arms down and just pick up one foot. And the other one, so just a knee raise to hip height. So I'm going to take opposite arm to leg. Opposite arm to leg. Control there, just focusing straight ahead of you. 2 more. And then just drop into a small squat. 2 more. Just step forward with your left foot slowly. Step, lift, squat. And then the right side. Step, lift, squat. So it doesn't have to be too challenging, this lunge. It's just a small step in front. And just when you're feeling a little bit more balanced, then you can start just dropping a little bit deeper into the squat and into the lunge. So whatever you're comfortable with there. Keeping the chest lifted. Just 2 more. Last one. Now just left leg out behind and extend. And squat. And then the right leg. So it's just a little bit of standing work. Just firing up those glutes. And again. Just 2 more. Last one. And just roll through the spine there, reaching for the toes. And just hold the stretch there, backs of the legs. Take a deep breath in and unfold. Knees are soft and tuck under. And circle both arms back. Then just turn your toes out and again roll through the spine. Nice and slowly come all the way to the bottom. Take a breath and unfold. So knees are soft. Arms come up. Bring them round and just into a little squat there. So just keeping those heels grounded. Heels together, toes out wide. Just feeling that stretch come through the lower calves. Just 2 more, and you keep going. Just going to turn to face you. And step wide. And exactly the same, keep those toes coming out. And now Now just activating through your inner thighs. So I'm going to circle and make this into a stretch at the top there. So really wide on those legs. Turn your toes forward and then just come across into a lunge. Try and keep that chest lifted if you can. And hold it center. Reach and forward fold. If you can, hands to the floor and just drive your hips away from you. I'm going to bend my right leg and come all the way down and just sit into that stretch there, flexing the foot. And when you're ready, just shift across to the opposite side. Back to the center and slowly coming up. Bringing your feet together, just circle back. Okay, let's work our way down to the mat all the way. So when you get to the bottom, walk the hands forward. And just hold a full plank there. Hands under the shoulders. And just drive back into your heels. Push through the heel of the hands and just pump through those feet. Lift and lower the heel one at a time. Both heels come down and just drop them forward and hold. I'm going to take my legs a bit wider, and if I need to, drop to my knees into a half plank. And just touch your right shoulder and the left. Good. So one at a time. So remember, when you come to drop slowly down to the mat, you could drop to your knees here, slowly drop down. Elbows slide in, side of the body. Triceps, squeeze the elbows in, worm your way up. And do it again, slowly drop. Elbows slide into the side of the body. Chest comes up, squeeze those elbows in. Good. Start a nice steady breath. Chest. And push back into the heels there. Hold it there. Drop the crown of the head to the floor. Slowly come back, legs stay wide. Shoulder touch. Good. Abs are strong, connected. 2 more. And slowly drop down. Elbows tight. Exhale, come up, squeeze those elbows in. And again. So as we're driving back up, make sure you're pushing the shoulders to the ceiling. Push. Last one. Squeeze those elbows in. Push back into the heels and hold. Bring your feet together and just holding that downward dog position. I'm just going to extend my left leg. Tap down. Keep that leg long. 2 more. Change to the other leg. Point. Extend the leg. Last 4. Squeezing with that buttock. Last 2. I'm going to pull my right leg all the way forward and step. Step back. And the left side. Step, take your time. So open out through those hips. Come back. Breath in and again. Right leg forward, step. Now I'm going to add a little bit of ballistic stretching here, just where I'm bouncing through the hip. So just feel that hip open out. Do 4 more to change. When you're ready, step back and forward. And then give me that little bounce. Good. Let's try one more time each side. So step back and shift your hips. Step forward and little bounce. Last time, step back, step forward, and tiny bounce there. Step back, knees to the floor, and sit back into the heels. Well done. Just take the back of your hands onto the mat in front of you there and straighten your arms out. Now can you try turning the creases of your elbows to the front? You see? Sometimes it's really difficult to get your head around. So I'm just twisting. What I'm doing is trying to get a stretch here through my wrists because we've just done quite a bit of work through that upper body. Come all the way up and just flick your fingers out. Good, and if you've got your band, take the band and let's come straight into the waist. So just allow your shoulders to drop. And just rotate. Center. Okay, so again, start thinking about your breathing technique, engaging those abdominals. You get as much twist as you can, left to right. Now just come across lateral flexion and center, other side, and center. And again, so over. Try and keep your arm in line with your ear. Center. Should we drop back? Opposite heel. And lift. And then try the other side. Good. Keep going slowly, slowly. Don't hold your breath. Remember, exhale on that effort, which is going to be that shift up away from your heel. So here. Good. Just 2 more. Last one. Those arms back there. I want you to circle. Now be careful here, especially when you come behind. So I've almost gone into that lateral flexion there, side move, rotate around. So I want you to sweep those arms. Sweep. Careful of that lower back, pull those abs back. Good. So obviously the bigger you go, the more intense it becomes, pushing away from your body's centre line. Two more. And centre, bring that back down. And just round the back through this. Tap under with the hips. And release into your cow pose, looking up. And again, round back. And looking up. Good, bottoms in, so we'll grab a quick drink. Morning everyone, morning. Band is going round. Or Claire, you can tie yours. Okay, so just holding that seated position. So hips are stabilised, just using that band. So it's nice width apart, hip width. So you're just gently pushing on that band, nothing too strenuous at the moment. Just stabilise those hips. Tuck under and slowly roll back. All the way over the arms. Taking a breath. Exhale, come back. Push that lower back down and lift and sit tall. And again, roll down. All the way. Coming up. And lift and sit tall. So don't let the knees touch. I want you to just gently push against the band if you can. Stay back, and just pull your right knee in and away, and the left knee in and away. So it's just a little bit of work through the quads there. This time coming all the way up. Sit tall and all the way down. So I'm going to pull my knee up as I lift. So exhale, push the lower back down and bring one knee into the chest and slowly away. Still pushing against that band. Lift, other knee. Away. So you can do it again, one time each side or both knees come in. So up to you there, you could do one leg at a time and slide, still pushing against that band. And again, lift. Good, and just hold a half roll back there, hold it. Now lift one leg, lift, lower. So again, just working against that band. Roll back once. Roll up. Holding that half roll back. Hold. So we go to the other leg. Two more. Roll back once. Deep breath, exhale as you come up. And hold. I'm just going to take my hands behind and just support myself there. Lift one, drop and change. So again, quads working, still engaging. If you feel you can, you take those arms away. Lift and lower. Good. Hold it there. You roll back just a touch more. Lift up, legs straight, forward fold. Long breaths in there. Work on that stretch, backs of the legs. Base of the spine. Coming back to seated position, I want you to squeeze against the band. So try your roll back there if you can. If your hips are clicking, bring them in slightly. So now my hips are really engaged here. My hips are switched on just through pushing against that activation band. So it's activating all those muscles around the hip area. push wide. Good, side of the buttocks, fire them up. 8, 7. Good. Just hold that resistance, roll. And up, exhale. And again. This time coming up and holding. Get your positioning right, make that C shape with the lower back first. And then push. And hold them wide. I'm just going to push those legs now, wide as I can, and just hold it. 4, 3, 2, bring them in, and roll back there. Bring those legs all the way up. Knees over the hips and arms by your side. Let's mimic that move with bent knees. Just open and close the legs. Now I'm going to add a little crunch in between, so I'm going to slow it right down and just open and close, and then just a little crunch and a reverse tuck. Open, reverse. Now you can do this much slower than I'm going, I'm just using music. So what we could do is longer legs, open, close, and a little tuck. Open, and a reverse tuck. Really squeeze those legs out wide. You know, guys, you want to make this more challenging. You've got to move that band closer to your knees, yeah? And then that's going to make it a little bit tougher. That's really up to you where you are with this. Just think about every part of this move. So when you are squeezing those legs out wide, make sure they're really strong and locked out. Point those toes. Now I want you to pulse the legs. 3, 2, 1 and close. And a tuck. Slowly release. Pulse again. 3, 2, 1 and close. Slowly. Reverse tuck. And away. Try it again. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Then reverse tuck. Nice work. Good. Last time. 3, 2, 1. Legs stay up, stay wide, and pulse. Just stay there. Keep pulsing. And push wide. Make sure you're not veering off to the left or the right. Make sure you're in a centre line, and both those legs are working hard to push as wide as you can. Last 8, 7. Oh, we're nearly there. Slow it down. See how I'm just going to change this slightly and kind of push them wide, but one comes in front and one comes below. So imagine you are lying down in a box, and I want you to push your big toes to the opposite corners. Got that? So what we're doing is a little bit there through the outer thigh and through the front of the leg as well as you pull towards you. Keep going. Good. That's up there. Make sure we're on good charge. And bring those knees into the chest. Just have a little rest there. I'm just checking the charge on my phone here, guys. I'm not going anywhere. Straight. And just straight leg crunches for me. So hands behind the head. legs are straight and just a little crunch. Crunch, release. So get that connection. So you can completely relax those legs now. Right, I'm just having to fathom out while you're doing that why this phone's not charging. So just keep going with those for me, guys. Just keep going. I'll get another charger. Four more. Good. 3, 2, and from there, all the way up, all the way, and forward fold and stretch. Lovely work, good. Turn onto your side. Now both legs straight or underneath knee bent, and come straight into your side plank there, and just hold. So stay lifted. Make sure your hips are stacked, you're in a perfect straight line. Good, now I want you to circle that top leg. Foot comes down and lift and lower. Driving that hip. Another 4, 3. In your own time, come to full or half plank and hold. So either onto those toes or knees and tuck under with those hips. Same thing, I want you to drive those hips up and down. So lift up, we're in a full or half plank position. Last 4. In your own time, and if you need to come down in between, come down. And just hold that side plank on the opposite side. Lift that top leg and circle.
I want to be with you forever.
Pop your foot down and just drive that hip up and drop. Last one, and turn it, your last full or half plank there. Well, breathe it out, draw in and shoulders, remember, separate them, bring that neck in line with the spine. I'm going to come to my hands and shift all the way back up into that downward dog. And just lift and lower one at a time. You could come to your elbows and your knees and just do it this way, that's fine too. Just slowly lift and lower one leg at a time. Again, don't have to use the music, I just want you to lift and lower, alternating. There. Just 2 more. And come all the way down. I'm going to come all the way to the mat, onto my tummy, and take both arms out. At any point you need to remove that band, feel free. Because these moves are all going to be intensified with the band on. So head comes down, opposite arm to leg, just lift and lower. So you're working across the diagonal of the back and lower. Try and relax the back of the neck. Make that work come from the shoulder, across the centre of the back, to that opposite leg. On your next lift, can you hold it? Take the arm and the leg wide, bring it back centre, and drop it down. Then the other one, lift, take them both wide, both centre, and drop. And again, out wide, coming down, lots of control there. So don't relax your abdominals here. Make sure you're pulling away from the mat. So remember, that is your support girdle. You've got to keep it in control and tight. Last one. And center. Bring your elbows down. I'm going to come all the way up with the chest. Lifting off the mat. And release. Exhale and lift. Middle back. Try below your shoulder blades to get your connection there. And release. I want you to try and switch off your glutes and your lower back. So just the middle back. Use the arms to support your weight and release. So lift. Release. Can you lift your right arm and turn the chest and then slowly back down? And just try the other side. You're turning that head from left to right. Good. Just a couple more, alternating. Last one. Centre, and if you feel confident enough, just come up. Last one on the breath out. Both arms. Pull back and hold. Lift both legs if you feel comfortable. Otherwise, keep those arms down on the floor and just concentrate on that lower back. Release. Deep breath, exhale, lift. Squeeze against the band now. Push that band wide. Release. Everything drops. Reach those arms out in front. Take a breath. Exhale, come up. And release. Bring your hands underneath the chest and come all the way up and into your child's pose stretch. Reaching those arms out. Turning over onto your bottom and split the band off. Straight down onto your backs, everyone. Bring those knees over the hips. We have no band. So everything should feel a little bit lighter, a little bit less intense through those legs. Okay, can you just drop one toe? And then lift. And the other one. Opposite arm to leg. Over. And then coming back. And take your time to change there. Good. And coming back. So just alternate arm to leg. So we know we want to keep that back steady. We also know if we lengthen that leg away, there, making it longer, just makes it a bit more challenging. So up to you. Just keep that going, either bent knee or straight leg. Just keep going. Good. Keep it slow, keep it slow. I didn't realise you guys were waiting in a waiting room. Apologies. I didn't realise you were there, sorry. Wasn't being rude. Good, now make it even slower, even slower. Can you take both legs, both arms away, either bent knees or straight legs? So try both together, if you can.
Can you feel my heartbeat?
So either keep them bent. Good. Or try straight. Now that is incredibly challenging. You do not want our backs to lift. Exhale on that effort, coming back center. Good, you made this your last one. All the way.
Can you feel my heartbeat?
And bring it in, and just to finish on these abs, but to lead us into a good lower back stretch, come straight into your knee rolls, come all the way across. Keep the knees together, keep the shoulders down, and come back through.
Can you feel my heartbeat?
And across, keep those shoulders connected. And again.
Your soul is so pure.
Good, keep those heels nice and close to the bottom, feel that lower back open out. We're doing okay, just got a few more minutes here. We'll get into a lovely stretch through those hips, through the glutes. A few more onto this waist for now, keep going, and if you can, extending that top leg out. And then bending it and bringing it back across. I'm just going to take this knee roll into an actual knee roll, circling my knees in a big circle there. So it's almost like I'm massaging the base of the skull. Again, just be careful as you drop those toes closer to the floor. Imagine your knees are drawing a big circle above you. And just try it in both directions. Just feel the difference on the opposite side. Good, and drop your feet to the floor and soles of the feet together, drop the knees wide. And to finish, hands behind
Soul
the
is
hips.
so pure.
I'm just going to crunch. And release. And crunch. Now you can keep them here. And just get your last few crunches. Focusing on lower abdominals. If you want to really challenge yourself, I don't even know if I'll be able to do this, if I'm honest. Try rolling all the way up. See, even me, struggling. That is so tough. Really hard to come up when those knees are wide because you're not using your hip flexors at all. You've got to really mentally focus, not just about using the strength in your abs. You've got to send those messages all the way through to connect, push and pull that pelvic floor muscle through. Nice work, good. So just keep that going. Oh dear, Melinda, bless you. Everyone come up to seated and keep those knees wide and just hold that half roll back there. So I'm trying to switch off the tops of the legs there. I'm just going to pull back. 7, 6. If it's uncomfortable though, by all means, just come back to a comfortable position through those hips. It's not going to be for everyone. Lost count. I'll say 4 more. 3. Roll all the way down. Well done. Stretch it out, everybody there. Take those arms over the head. Let that back come away from the floor. Take some long breaths in and just feel that rib cage open out. I'm going to pull my right knee into the chest and pull it in tight. I'm just going to take my right knee all the way over the top. And take my arms wide either side. Feel the opening through the chest. A little bit of a stretch through the side of the buttock. And then of course we've got that lower back. Long breaths in through the nose. Pulling that knee closer to the chest as you come across. Take the right leg away from you and pull that left knee in tight. Push that leg all the way over the top. Let the weight of that leg fall into the floor. Did we get any clicks or clunks there? My lower back just went all released. That was nice. Remember breathing into these stretches. Come back to the center and just circle the knees apart and together. Good, and turn to your side and just take hold of the top leg and pull that heel in close to the bottom. Push your hip forward and let's get a good stretch through the front of the leg. Just relax that head. Just turn it over. I'm going to spin it around, but you could just flip it over to the other side. And come all the way down. Putting that heel close to the bottom. Knee in line with your hip. And then just try and pull it back a little bit further. And release. Come all the way to your tummy. Hands come either side and come all the way up. Push your hips down. And I want you to drop your chin to the chest. And release. Hands come further underneath the chest. And come back and again sit into your heels. Turn your thumbs to the ceiling and pull back onto the side of the hands. Lock those arms out and really stretch forward as well. Take the left arm underneath you and just lie your weight through onto that left shoulder. then just to the other side. Get the arm underneath you and rest that weight through the shoulder. Good, and come all the way up. And I'm just going to step forward with my right leg. I'm going to stay lifted. And I'm just going to rock forward there. Then I'm going to extend. Same arm to back leg and reach up. And then just shift back, straighten that front leg, flex your foot, and forward fold. I'm going to pull those toes up. Take my hand behind the back of the foot and just try and push a little bit deeper into that stretch. I'm going to turn my toes out, so push the foot so it externally rotates. And again, shift your bottom out behind you. And coming forward, and just step and change. Remember, we stay lifted. And just shift your hip forward there into that stretch. Lovely, and reach with a big stretch. And come back through. Remember, flex the foot, pull back on the heel. If you can, pop that hand behind the back of the foot. Shift your bottom out behind a little bit more and try to externally rotate that foot if you push that foot wide. Back to the center and bring your knees together. Curl your toes underneath you and just shift back into the balls of the feet. In your own time, slowly unfold. All the way reaching to the ceiling. Swing down. Excellent work.